Yo, Singer hasn't missed in its inception. Since day one, uno, ground zero, ground one, ground floor, at the drawing board, marker in hand, not drawing nothing. The first sketch, banging. Yeah. Yes. Here again with another. This is a we're not even gonna do it. I'm not even gonna say it's a short one. I'm not even gonna say it's not that big of a news this week, even though that's somewhat of my tagline, but I'm mixing it up. Episode 23, CarQuicks. It's your host, Cameron. I'm here, feeling good. I got my agua, Sometimes I've been doing these podcasts. I've been sitting here kind of parched, having to kind of hurry up and get through the news. And I've been like, man, I can't even speak my ideas because I'm needing some water. But we're here. The week has been good. It was the 4th of July. I didn't do anything. I didn't pop a firework. I didn't step outside to barbecue, nothing. It was blazing saddles where I live, okay? So guess what I wasn't doing? Anywhere that didn't have AC, I was not around. So I made sure to keep it that way. But as I was sitting in the AC, I did read some interesting things. I just want to throw my little opinion out there and just some new stuff, just cool things, some updates on the GR Corolla, some other things that were happening in the background I never spoke on that I clearly need to just take a pivot and change. To start off, though, Mercedes released a brand new car today. 2024 CLE Coupe. I'll be perfectly honest. This is a CLK. Like, I know they're trying to replace the C-Class Coupe and the E-Class Coupe with this one model. Essentially, it's a CLK. So, Mercedes a long time ago said that they weren't going to make any more coupes, that they were just going to focus on sedans, the sports car, AMGs, SUVs. Similar to all the manufacturers, okay? Coupes are hard to sell unless we're talking about very niche vehicles, Nissan Z, Camaros, Dodge Challengers. Everybody else is bailing on the ship, understandably, because they're not really making that much money on it. But to see them make a new coupe is actually good to see. Because for those that like this category, for those that actually care about these type of vehicles, it's nice to see something new that comes out because other than that, what we're left with. It's going to be SUVs and A-shaped electric cars until somebody figures out that you can actually draw another shape. So this is it's a very basic car. It looks cool. It looks very much like a C-Class. That's the one's going out now. If you look at the picture of the interior, you know how it gets down. There's the interior, looks like the C-Class, very much the waterfall design. It looks good. I will say one thing. Mercedes has been knocking it out the park when it comes to interior design, and they haven't missed it yet. Not in my opinion. This car comes with either turbo for the CLE 300, the CLE 450 4MATIC. 4MATIC one gets a 3-liter inline-6 turbo, 375 horsepower, 369 foot-pounds of torque. Each one of them has a 48-volt mild hybrid system. I don't know what it really does in the case of maybe giving it more torque, because they said at any moment it can give it an extra 148 foot-pounds of torque. They didn't mention anything about an all-electric mode. I don't think it performs in that way, though I do find it interesting that they wanted to add that much more torque. If they wanted to have a sport one, I would imagine there's an AMG one coming. They didn't say nothing about it, but I just don't see them leaving that on the table, especially if you get a few people. You can just kind of open up the ordering books and say, listen, for this year, we're going to do a special AMG CLE 53 or 63, whatever they're going to do. Boost up the inline 6, give it about 479, 480 horsepower, and then go from there. I don't know if they're going to necessarily do that, but this is going to be available early 2024 in coupe and convertible. And it's 9-speed auto, nice looking car. Nothing looks bad about it. I mean, you already know who this is targeted for. If you are a CLE, if you're a coupe person, if you like the C-Class coupe, if you like the E-Class coupe, if you like the old CLK, and you've been looking for a brand new type of coupe from a luxury manufacturer, outside of BMW who does it, but if you're specifically looking for Mercedes, then this is pretty much it. I mean, can't go wrong. Outside of coupes, another coupe that's soon to get the axe. We talked about it before, the Camaro. I'm telling y'all now. Let me just do a PSA real quick, just one more time for the one time. If there's a car that you like right now from a manufacturer, I don't care if it's JDM, an old school RX-7, a 300ZX, 280Z, an R34, a Sylvia S15, an S13, a 180SX, I don't care. A Camaro, go cop. It is coming to an end. And when it's already crazy. Anybody that likes 90s JDM cars, we already have the memes. These things is costing outrageous dollars. I'm talking basic bargain bin Sylvias costing 30, 40K. There's nothing inherently that exciting about a stock Sylvia. If we're going to be frank, I do love them, boxy, nostalgic, but I also love them for what they can become. I'm not looking at a stock S13 and being like, that blows me away. I'm like, it blows me away for what I know it can become. But these prices ain't making it sexy at all. So the Camaro has been announced that it's in production. We don't know what the next Camaro is going to be. Guaranteed is some hybrid or electric one. It's probably going to be 4 doors. I know it sounds crazy. The Dodge Charger was originally a 2-door muscle car. It came back as a 4-door muscle car, and it turned out to be one of the greatest selling things that Dodge ever did, especially when the Hellcat came out. So now the Camaro being announced that it's going to be out of here, their sales did what? They spiked. See, folks are listening. And if you're not paying attention, go back to what I just said 30 seconds ago. Go and cop. And they're copping. Sales went up 110%. I mean, this is what you're going to have to do. If these are the cars that we care about, I mean, we can't, these sales aren't going to make a manufacturer be like, oh, hold on a second. Maybe we're on to something. We should just keep it around for a few more years. Even if they do that, they're never going to do anything drastically different to what they're doing now. Ford has the Mustang, but even the current Mustang is very much still based on the outgoing Mustang, even by shape and design. Changed a few things, updated things on the powertrain, but essentially at the core of it, we are still looking at what is currently out on the market right now. They didn't go from the ground up and say, we are going to blow this out the water and we're going to start over again. So this is something that you want to pay attention to, especially if you like the Camaro. So their sales went up. I don't know if it's gonna garner anything special. They have some special edition I talked about in one episode. That's probably what's causing this. We already know it's coming to an end. It's closing up. It's probably going to be an SUV when it comes out next. I'm telling you now, like, yo, if you think that these people have any allegiance to the name, all you gotta do is look at the Ford Mustang Mach-E. The Camaro SUV is coming. I promise. Like, you can quote me. If it doesn't come, that's good. But I'm willing to bet that they got that on the drawing board right now, trying to say, hey, how do we sneak this one in and then get a sedan and get more money out the thing? Because that's where all the bread and butter is right now. Other cars that got announced that I thought were exceptionally cool was the Ferrari SF90 XX. Now, if you don't know, XX was Ferrari making those track cars that you couldn't drive anywhere but on a track, where Ferrari had to come and support you. I mean, it was truly a billionaire's toy. It wasn't even made. I mean, you could say millionaires, multi-millionaires. I mean, that's all it was. I mean, you couldn't drive it on the street. The FX in the old LaFerrari and the Enzo, you couldn't drive them anywhere. They had to be on the track. You had to call Ferrari to help you go to the track. They had to support you, change everything on it, and then, let you drive on the track. So now the SF90 XX is coming out. However, this time it's street legal. This looks insane. Now, some colors don't look that great. I got them up on the screen next to me. I got the blue one. I got this white one. The white one looks fire. Especially because, see, I can get down with the crazy on the street, right? I can get down with the race car Le Mans looking canards, wings, grills, diffusers. I mean, listen, we're only here for a short time, not a long time. Let's have fun while we're here. So the SF90 XX is out. Same 4-liter twin turbo V8. This time makes 786 horsepower, but the electric motor adds 229. We got a grand total of 1,016 horsepower in this car. 0 to 60, 2.3, 0 to 124, 6.5. It's a monster. You already know what to do. Look at it. Look at it. You already know what you're going to see. It's going to be at Cars and Coffee behind the velvet rope, and the person who drove it in is going to put it back on the trailer, or maybe they'll cruise out of there up to PCH, back to the mansion in Malibu, and that's the last time you're going to see it. Okay, but as far as the car goes, it costs about $850,000, $925,000 if you get the Spider version right there. But as far as the SF90 goes, so we have $925,000, as I said, for the Spider, $850,000 for the coupe, or $840,000, whatever it may be. There's no way you're getting this at MSRP unless you were buying Ferrari since the beginning of time, and this is just what you do. Okay, when you buying the 250 GTO and F40, that's who's over here at the Ferrari dealership asking them for the MSRP on this, because it ain't gonna happen even if you hit the lottery this week. Okay, now, something I do want to discuss, because this looked so absolutely ridiculous. I'm talking pure bonkers. So we all know Singer. Singer, I mean, keep it a stack. Singer makes one of the best looking reimagined Porsches on the planet. I don't care how you want to slice or dice it. There are many other companies that make other ones equally as good. We got Gunther Works, you have Roof, we have a lot of companies. Not you, Masonry, but we have a lot of companies. Let me do a quick sidebar. Brabus showed a new turbo out. I forgot what it was called, something 900. That's aggressive and it looked dope. I'll throw a quick picture up here. That looked fire, but back to the Singer. Singer's releasing a car called the DLS Turbo, based off the 934, 935 Porsche. And I'll show you how the old one looks. This new one, Singer hasn't missed in its inception. Since day one, uno, ground zero, ground one, ground floor, at the drawing board, marker in hand, not drawing nothing. The first sketch, banging, fire. So the DLS Turbo's coming out. The news on this is going to be that of how it looks, because Singer for all this time has been very subtle. It's been wider flares. It's been bigger duckbill spoiler, bigger front lip. It's been bigger engines, but it's been the details, the interiors, the seats, how they look, the trim levels, the metals they use, the hardware, the handles, the things you touch. They have been about the details and been very subtle in how they do it. And also they've been subtle in how they approach the outside design. This is a departure, and a pretty big and bold one. I love it. Look at the one with the wing on it. I mean, this is really in your face. Though the one next to it that I have up with the duckbill, I mean, listen, if I happen to hit the lottery and I have an option of getting a Porsche outside of me getting a good old GT3 from the dealership, Singer is high on the list of getting a phone call like, please, I need, okay? This will have a twin turbo 3.8 liter flat six, 9,000 RPM, 700 horsepower, 6-speed manual carbon brakes. You cannot ask for anything else. There's no versions done right now. This is showing you basically what they have on the board. I can't even wait till the first delivery this happens so I can see a video of somebody walking through this, because this looks absurd. It looks amazing. It's aggressive. It's in your face. It's a departure from what they did before. And that's the type of thing you need when you're doing these companies to keep pushing forward. You got to kind of do something that rubs people the wrong way. Not everybody's going to love this, because the 934, 35 at that time also had a look that not everybody liked it. Nobody was like running there saying this is a sexy design. It's very much in your face, very bold, very much, I don't know how to describe it. It's aggressive. It's a hater to love a design. The Singer plays into that. They smoothed it out. They gave them their touch. They made this incredibly clean, but it still has a hater to love it look. You're either going to be about it or you're not. Personally, I think this is one of the greatest designs that they've done. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this. Now, something that came out too is Rolls-Royce released their Spectre. And this is their electric car, their electric Rolls-Royce based off basically the Wraith. If you look at it, you can see it. It looks like the Wraith is based off the Ghost. It's based off all the cars they have done. Now, most people aren't going to really, I haven't heard too much news on this one. And probably because when I say news, I mean, this is like one of the car companies that has like the easiest transition to electric. You're talking about a company that was all about cars accelerating calmly, wafting as the word they use, right? Being able to isolate the driver from noise, comfort, grand touring, driving through the countryside, driving at high speed on the Autobahn and pure comfort, soft riding, no harsh feeling, soft materials, plush rugs, wood. So to have an electric powertrain in a car that is about isolation and making the driver as comfortable as possible, this probably is the best one they've done yet. You're talking about not having to even, they were already isolating the V12. Like if you ever been in a Rolls-Royce, you would get inside of it, shut the door, it sounded like you closed a bank vault. You start the engine, you couldn't even feel the thing shift. You couldn't even hear the motor unless you really, truly got on it. And even then it was a faint, distant sound. Now you got electric. This is going to be you inside of Bose Quiet Comfort 4s in a car. Okay, you're going to put these on your head and you're going to say, this is what it sounds like to drive the Spectre. You can't hear nothing on the outside. Whatever problems you have are long and gone. So personally, I think it looks dope. I love the way this looks. I appreciate Rolls-Royce not going balls to the wall with some wild looking, no grill in the front, egg shaped, super sleek, I'm going extra for no reason design. You know it's the Rolls-Royce. You see it. It even looks like it still has a V12 in it. But I think that should be one of the things that car manufacturers are doing when they're talking about these electric cars. You can add some of the other stuff in there. It doesn't have to be everything looking like, hey, there's no engine in there, so you don't need a front grille. Everything can be sleek and smoothed over. You can still have a grille. They still look good with design. So I appreciate what Rolls-Royce did here. Now, I mean, if I ever get to drive one, it'd be awesome. I love how it looks. I see the reviews on it have talked about how it's very quiet. Everything that they've done with Rolls-Royce plays again. It's like the recipe has already been there. It's like eating somebody's beef Wellington. I don't know. You know, they know how to make it. You know the recipe. It's going to taste fire every time. This is the Rolls-Royce recipe. We're now just adding more sauce to it. We're adding more flavor to it. We're not changing the recipe. We're just saying, hey, we're going to take something away that we had to use before, but now we're adding something else that might be even better. It's like having heavy cream in a recipe when they used to have milk. You know, we're adding a little bit extra. So the Rolls-Royce Spectre's out, and that wrapped it up. Yeah, for the first time, it's truly a short one. You thought I wasn't going to say it, but I did. But I got some car news, my own personal car news, GR Corolla updates. The GR Corolla has 11,000 miles now. I'm in the shreddities, okay? And I love it every single mile. It drives performing well. It feels like it just feels great. I can't complain. I mean, you see go look at my video for the 9,000 mile update. I'm about to do another one at 15,000 miles in short order. Okay. I'm doing each one of these. Y'all going to see me in this car until the wheels fall off. But I have some mods coming. The next thing I have ordered, it should arrive actually today as I'm recording this, is a rear motor mount. So a friend of mine, and then goes by the name Hachiburu. And I met him because I saw him at a car event one time, and I had my GR Corolla, and he had a blue Corolla XSE, and this dude's knowledge on that platform is out of control. So shout out to you. You know who you are. I mean, this man's a wealth of knowledge, and I'm there to just absorb it because he knows what the heck he is talking about. And one of the things we were talking about is how the engine moves and how it shifts when you're driving, because I can feel the movement of the engine. Even when you start it up, you can see the engine move a lot. So one of the things that can help that is like the rear mount. Similar to where they have an engine dampener where it stops a lot of the engine movement. I'm doing a rear mount on it. It's supposed to come today. It's coming from a company called Grocery Getter Performance, owned by a gentleman that goes by the name of like Veloster NCR on Instagram. I'll put their name somewhere in this thing, especially my friend Chris, who goes by the name Hachiburu. I'll put his stuff here because if you want knowledge on platform, if you have a GR Corolla or Corolla hatchback and you want to know what to do on this platform or what is performing or what's not, what companies are here in the US that are actually making very quality parts, he is a wealth of knowledge. So we have that part coming in. When it comes in, I'm going to throw it on. I'm going to record a video. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to see how the car performs. So I'm actually excited because I see how the car feels and I shift and moving now because I'm doing hard shifts, down shifts, or just in general. You can feel movement. A lot of it is also our drivetrain having movement in it. But if I get rid of that slack as well, too, I'm excited for the difference. I know it's going to add some new vibrations and stuff to the car, but I'm excited for it. So I can't wait to add that. Other news is... So, like almost a year ago, I put a down payment, a pre-order down for a Ford Maverick. I know y'all are like, what the heck are you talking about? Why do you have a Ford Maverick on order? Well, you know, on the side, I like to do things like rent out cars and things like that. So the Ford Maverick was kind of an angle I was going to use for doing that, maybe even for my own self. I don't know. I just had an opportunity to place an order for it. I'm about to cancel it. Okay, it's been about a year. I haven't seen a single movement. I get emails from Ford saying, listen, due to high demand, we haven't been able to. Listen, it's a wrap, dog. I'm getting my money back. So no Ford Maverick. If you happen to see one on the channels because maybe it went through and I'm using it to rent it out on Turo or hire a car or wherever it may be because I've done it before. So maybe that's what I'm going to do. And that's it. Listen, I got the video for the GR Corolla coming up. It's a good week. It feels good. I got the quick news out, a little short episode. You know how it gets down. And there's more to come. Listen, I've said it before and I say it again. This is only the beginning, right? I am on my way to reviewing some cars. Listen, the Rolls-Royce Spectre, Rolls-Royce. If you catch my video, throw me the keys and let me show these people the CarQuicks perspective on how these cars are. Sooner or later, I'm probably going to figure out a way to get an Integra Type S to review because I'm going to do the car reviews. That's my next. That's where I'm headed. I'm doing the podcast right now to just talk about stuff, talk to people. But I have something coming and I have more coming. You guys will check in later. You know what I always say. Do as you wish and do as you may. It's Cameron, your host. This is CarQuicks. Peace.